Okay. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, God. Um, I'm thankful not for my health because my health is not looking good. My organs are rotting and just breaking down slowly, and it's a very slow process. And I think they're just delaying it just to so they can do this theatrics because they've been exposed for truly what they are, and I'm not gonna let them do these things in this fantasized, disturbing, retarded way. As a target individual, I understand what it's really about, and I did not subscribe to this facade and theater and theatrics of what they wanted me to think this was about and what they are. I fully accepted the reality for what it is and braced myself for that. But let me just start with the beginning. I've noticed my last videos that it's just been very me just being very emotional because it just anger has been building in. Anger that is just coming from me knowing what these trash are, what they do, and how obvious things are, and it gets more and more obvious with time. And so I truly start seeing them in this hated way. That is a hatred that comes from not what they're doing to me, but the hatred of like what they want to counter and negate. And the psyop that is being utilized on top of that makes it even more disturbing. A psyop that truly failed. I mean, it was obvious. It doesn't take much. As soon as you discover what this is about, you like look at them like, what? That doesn't even make what? You're in what? This dude does what? And I'm like, okay, that's impossible. What you're saying, what you're involved in, does not make sense. Because they can be involved in something that is just so diabolical. And to who is impacting. And truly what they are. And they are literally the same people. And then you see the testimonials of people who are way more vulnerable. You look at them, it's like, I recognize. They look like this next door neighbor here. As in, like, what they do. They do the same, like, and so you realize, oh, they're involved in this. But when they do it to me, they want me to think, oh, this is a group of feminine trash ass. They're these people. But when they do it to me, I'm supposed to think disgusting trash. Nasty trash. So let me just start from the beginning, and before I go into what my hatred has grown. I'm a target individual. I'm a test subject. The government is using me as they're using many others. Some of the target individuals are children or have children. And children are also being hit with this technology. They are destroying the life of a target individual, inclusive of mine. And there's men and women and children in this program, utilized and used as guinea pigs. Then they create an ecosystem consisting of neighbors and people within the community the target individual is in to participate in that. They destroy the sanity, the physical health, the financial aspect of the target individual and their children. Children become sick. They have seizures. They all kind of nastiness. I'm saying that on purpose because I want to get back to why my hatred has gone. And they utilize this technology that can just destroy your body, radiate your body in so many ways, make you sick in so many ways, handicap you, blind you, do horrible things to your body in so many ways. Imagine anything that's negative that can be done to your body, they can do that via this technology. And the thing, like, let me repeat that, they do that to children too. I'm purposely saying that because I'm going to get back to that. They do these horrible things. Children are screaming in pain because of sufferance. Women are suffering and screaming in pain, and I'm saying that on purpose. This piece of shit, excuse my language, the emotions are hitting me again. These people are doing these horrible things to even the most vulnerable. They're doing it because they are developing this technology. This evil is not evil just for the sake of evilness. They are developing this technology and seeing what tactics are working, what pain points work, what they is so disturbing. Literally using human beings as guinea pigs, but not only just human beings, even children. Like children, that much for like infants are being destroyed, like their health are being compromised. This trash are very much aware of that. And let me just come back because I'm getting back into the emotional state. And so they do these things to us for the purpose of developing this technology. They need to do that to men, women, and children. They need to do that from people in different races, ages, and gender. That's how this technology is developing. Now, another tactic they like to do, by the way, and on top of that, the technology, what is the most sophisticated part of this is the way they can manipulate your brain. They can alter your mind and have been able to alter your mind for so long ago. As they alter your mind, change your mind, and have the ability to do all these things, another portion of that is to make you acceptive of this manipulation of your thought process, this manipulation of the way you're thinking and experiencing things, and whatever manipulation you experience, which are very degrading, the way they rewire your brain and put things together to try to gaslight you. They are utilizing civilians around you to also gaslight you. So they make you think in a certain way, they make you have these experiences, and then they have this purpose who's supposed to make you believe that what you're experiencing is something natural. So one example they do, for me, what they like to do, what disturbs me the most is if I look at children, they force me to get sexual stimulation. Then this contracted trash are supposed to gaslight me into thinking that what I'm experiencing, I should feel guilty because I'm not being manipulated to experience that, but it's a natural experience. And their job is to do that. Is to do whatever they can to convince me that I'm not being manipulated. This experience I just experienced is some organic experience that is just me as a natural being. That's purely disgusting, and they obviously do that. And so you have this purpose that can even act fanatical, very, very, very much aware that your brain has been manipulated, but they think that their fanatical ways of acting, this fanatical way of acting, is supposed to make you think, oh my gosh, this person is acting with so much passion. That must be true. You must not be manipulated. That's what they think. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Because they do that to people who know themselves. So you think based on how you're acting, now I'm supposed to think that I'm just being me naturally. Even when I didn't know about how obvious this technology could do these things, I knew this makes no sense. I'm not being me. Something's happening to my brain for me to experience this like this to all of a sudden. But truly, they can do these things. And they use this childlike purpose a lot of times. This purpose, very childish. A lot of them are very childlike, right? And I think it does help because, you have less sense of, you have no shame as a child. You're a child. You don't respect yourself much. You're a kid. So when it's clear that you can be manipulated like that, there's books that shows what they could do in the 50s that can say, like literally, we could make this monkey have sexual arousals in 1959 or something like that. And you have this child like retard, like, nah, it's you, oh my gosh, it's so you. When you have been validated that this is a tactic they do to others, it takes some childlike minded person, even adults who become childlike minded. And for me, what it does, like I said, it just makes you angry because they think that they can just act fanatical in this theatric way. And I'm going to be subscribed to it When in truth, you look at them, it's like these people are literally doing whatever they can to force my brain in this fashion to give me to have this sexual stimulation toward children, and then act like they're protecting children. It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing. What happens with me is this: when they make me have this experience, it's like, no, what you did, that's abuse, child abuse. And they make me think of my childhood, what I did as a child. Something that they have been exaggerating, try to make it worse than what it was, but it was an impulsive act of what I did. What I did as a child was an impulsive act that did something when I was 13, 14 years old, that they try to exaggerate. So today, as a grown adult man, when they make me have these experiences, they're like, no, it's you are. This trash who not only torture children, but are known to do this pedophilia type of torture systematically. And they use this trash, so disgusting at this point. It is so they are so childlike trash. It's so magical. I don't understand why they haven't been killed yet, if they've done that to others. Or I understand they haven't been killed, but my point is, it will be a matter of time that they will get killed if they were acting this way in a place. Let's just say I was somewhere where I could carry a gun legally. That's why I'm scared. Sometimes I'm like, thank God I was in a place where having a gun is legal, or like easy and legal. And I saw this trash, and they will play this game thinking that this man is gonna. I don't know what I would do. I'm just thankful that I'm not even put in that position, because I truly do think they should die. But I don't want to kill these people. And so they do this manipulation that is so degrading, and then try to make you think that it's okay that I'm going to identify with this. First of all, you are fully aware that they are torturing children. You see this trash and know that they are harming kids and women. And you know that they're just the bottom feeders involved in this. Because they look just like the people that this woman is showing here. For me, when they manipulate me in these degrading ways and talk about, no, you child abuse is yours, is like trash. Never. First of all, you guys are the one abusing children, torturing children. What I did as a child, you try to exaggerate it. And today, as an adult man, when I'm being forced to get this manipulation, you act like you just making me be in my brain when I was a kid. No. And then you're like, oh, you're gonna care about what you're like. I care about what I did as a child. And I know what it is. You're just trying to change it. You try to change what I did as a child, to try to negate what you do to children in this program, because you're abusing, torturing, killing, tormenting children. And you know you deserve to die for that. They even bring up stories about that. Yesterday I almost lost my mind. Because it becomes something where now what they can do to your mind, they can just literally implant narratives and stories that have nothing to do with you. They will make me think of what this actress called Monique experienced. Monique is a comedian, a black woman who's a comedian. When she was a kid, I think between like 6 to 7 or 6, 7, 8 was some. She had an older brother who was like maybe 12, 13, 14, and they were like she was being molested by him for years. And actually, when that brother grew up, he actually molested a child again when he was an adult. They're trying to take the story of what this woman went through as a child and what her brother did to her, and apply that to what I did as a child, to create this story in my mind, to be like, you see, he was a kid when he did that. I didn't do what he did, and I only did it. I did whatever I did in this impulsive way that never happened again. You're a piece of shit. But what you guys do is systematically torturing women and children, and you bring in stories of people who have nothing to do with me, implant their stories of what they went through or what they did, and try to apply that to what I did as a child, to try to exaggerate and create these storylines. No, I'm not gonna let you utilize something a child did impulsively and never did again, and try to exaggerate that to make me subscribe to this manipulation you do to me, while present yourself as protector of children. Talk about pay. When you are killing children, you delusional shit, fictional retards that are killing women and children. And you're going to care for that. You will not escape and come up with ways to make me think in certain ways to make me not. What they just did to me not too long ago is this. They have these tactics. Yesterday, I was so manipulated to have sexual arousal. Actually, it started off because I saw the child. Her name is Elle. Elle is like, in that picture, she looks like she's a 1 or 2. She's the daughter of Ralph. Ralph died from a mass shooting in October, I think, or something in 2023. That poor kid doesn't have children, doesn't have a father anymore. This adorable little baby no longer have Ralph as a father because Ralph died from a mass shooting that was caused by a target individual. Remember when I was saying that these people deserve to die? One man lost his mind and was very much capable of killing. He killed 18 people. That man was a target individual. He killed 18 people. Killed Ralph, the father of Elle. I've donated money to that family because this trash needs to know that I know what this trash are. This trash need to know that I'll give that money not even just for the family because I don't have that much money, but to just make a statement that trash like you, that's what you guys do and you gonna care about that. They stimulate me toward the little baby, the little girl. It's an adorable picture with Ralph having Elle on his chest, on with this like hardest thing. They stimulate me intensely. Same old things they do. At one point, I'm looking for something in my coat. The coat hits the private part of my body. They stimulate so much that at one point, urine came out of me. And been stimulating me intensely. So what happens now is like they crank up my libido. It is a uncomfortable feeling to be cranked up in this way. So what happened is I try to release myself. I don't like to do that. I don't like to watch adult content, but unfortunately, that's what I resort to. And I release myself. Every time I do that, actually, it's bad because adult content is something that when you start watching, you want to watch more. It's a negative thing that I've been in my life not wanting to, try to get away from that. This morning, after I watch adult content and release myself, I end up just focusing on something else. I'm about to make a video that you'll see this sad poor next, not even, when I mean poor, I'm not saying financially poor, but poor is in pathetic. That they use this childlike trash, and they love this thing so much because it empowers them. They are intoxicating, that they make them believe that they're some kind of warriors, and so delusional, childlike people. They don't understand that at this point now I see what you're really involved in, and I get to the hatred I have. I make this video, I'm preparing it, and I accidentally open a picture, a screenshot of somebody on this profile of a woman who has a kid, a goofy little 6-7-year-old kid, little girl. They stimulate me immediately. It's make me think to go watch adult content. It's for sure, that's it. I'm not gonna do that because I know what you're trying to do. You're just trying to incorporate while I'm watching adult content and climaxing. You try to implant this child in my brain, to train my brain to think about kids in sexual way. They literally training my brain that way. This trash, and on top of that, they do that with this facade of feminism. It's so disgusting. They're the description of this psyop that's been a disgusting psyop of feminism that even women don't even want to be connected with. Can you imagine do this thing and try to present yourself? Oh, we're just terrorists because we're women. It's ugh. Disgustingness. And then at one point, because I refused to, I'm not going to go watch adult content, I know what you're doing. They stimulate me, but of course, as always, I'm that's what you're going to do, that's nasty things you do. And it might make me imagine something else. And then they start creating imagination in my mind. This technology has the ability to implant thought process and imaginations. They start making me imagine making love with somebody and stimulating me, and then at the end just kind of make me think of, oh, remember you saw that kid earlier on? To train my brain. And they're like, nah, you're gonna be abused, trash. Has to go back to like, oh no, but remember what you did as a kid. It's like you are literally even training my mind to think about kids in this way. And the thing that gets me is like, oh, they're gonna say that, they're gonna abuse you. Everybody knows that my brain's being altered. That if they torture me or not, that's that. They're gonna torture me. But I don't have doubt that everybody knows that my brain is being played with in a degrading way, and their job is to break me down. And now the hatred I have. You heard what they're using to try to even break me. This trash are making me think of some stories that are just some sad story of other people's life and whatever they go through, to try to vilify me and try to apply that to what I did as a child, because what I did as a child is not to that extent. So they're taking other people's life and be like, oh, you gotta care for that, you gotta care. The trash. I care for the sufferings and the torture of all these women and all the children that were traumatized. I don't care about how you're implanting somebody else's story in my brain and try to make yourself believe like you're protective of children. That person has nothing to do with me. You just try to use her story, her sad, extreme sad story of what has been happening to her as a kid, to try to apply that to me, to make yourself believe that you're some kind of adventurous. You delusional shit. I'm not Monique's brother. I'm not Monique. I don't know them. And it's sad what happened to her. But you're not going to implant what she went through, or whatever the brother did to her, to apply that to what I did when I was a child, so you can delude yourself that you're some kind of protectors of children. You disgusting trash. Well, involved in a program that literally, I don't have to make it up. You are torturing children. You know how I know that? A woman say my young child and I are being used as test subjects. We're being damaged psychologically and physically. My whole family is being destroyed. You're involved in something that does that. You are connected to that because you chose to involve yourself in something that does these harmful things to children. I'm not telling you what this man over there did. I'm telling you what you are involved in. Bad choice. You got involved in something that tortures women and children, and you're going to care about that. You're not going to get involved in that and recreate reality to the point of even taking somebody else's life. Like taking their life story and planting in my brain to make me think that what I did was this trash. As you delusional trait. And they really get fanatical about the stories they come up with. Can you imagine? To try to exaggerate what I did as a child, to take somebody else act as a child and apply that to me. And then use this retardation of psyops, of retardation. I'm hearing some perp making themselves like, ha 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 ha. You know what they try to bring up? That's when the hatred comes in. I heard a joke in the cafeteria when I was a junior in high school. I said that same joke to him. Do you understand that these perps are actually involved in a program that is organized and orchestrated by the governmental entity called the Department of Defense, which they have the top tier child porn traffickers ranking of 2018? And they still be like, oh, haha, I remember that inappropriate joke you heard in high school. It's trash. This shit that kills women and children, and unfortunately for them, as they create a psyop of like, oh, it's your mind, yeah. They're actually working for entities filled with pedophiles, as they're manipulating your brain in this fashion and taking other people's stories and apply that into your brain. This shit are killing women and children. I'll run to whatever. I cannot let them live their fantasy. But one thing I'm scared of is if the hatred I have is the hatred that I know these people are killing women and children, but present themselves as protective of children. It's so disgusting. When they say abuse, I know they torture children, they're abusing children. For real. Let me just say this. What I did as a kid is not abuse. It's something, an inappropriate act that I did to myself. They try to exaggerate that. The exaggeration has come in different levels, to the point now, right now, they're talking about somebody else's life, whatever happened to Monique, to apply that to me. Not just to try to make me think, because a child did something like that to Monique. They try to make me imagine doing the same thing. On top of that, this was done to her many times to try to apply what I did as a child impulsively that never happened again. While this trash are here killing, torturing children. I'm not gonna let them live the fantasy. And they're like, yeah, you will serve. I'll be framed by people who's torturing kids and using a feminist psyop, who are altering the mind in these degrading ways and act like, now we're just mapped because when we're feminists, we map things. We don't manipulate the brain. Yeah, you're manipulating the fucking brain into these degrading ways, and you deserve to die. To be out here forcing men and women to think about children in sexual ways. And then act like you protect children. They are disgusting. Tomatag individual, stay strong.